Rejoice. This is the day the Lord has made. I'm Dr. Amanda, and welcome back to Mama Said, where intergenerational wisdom meets real life, real faith, and whole person health. We've talked about the launch, the silence, the tongue as the spoken word, letting them fall, releasing the seed, and stopping the watching. Today we talk about the moment a parent fully says, I did the work, I trust the work, and I trust the God who was in the work. And Mama said, the harvest tells the truth about the seed. It's good. There comes a point in every parent's journey where you have to make a decision. It's not a feeling, but a true decision to trust what you deposited. Because here's what I know and what I'm watching with my own eyes right now. I'm watching a young woman walk into rooms with poise. She asks questions with clarity. She carries herself with confidence. She solicits wisdom when she needs it. She makes thoughtful decisions, and she calls to share her day. That is not personality alone. That is training. Those are the seeds. And every prayer deposited, every scripture planted, every boundary held, every hard conversation had, every value modeled in the ordinary moments of everyday life. In Proverbs 22:6 was not written as a suggestion. It was written as a promise. When God says, train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. The training is done. Now trust it. Trust the training that you put into them. Research on the long-term impact of intentional parenting and faith formation is remarkable. Research consistently shows that initial identity content is based on feedback youth receive from their parents, and that those cues and signals shape who a young person becomes as they move into adulthood. Studies also confirm that with positive, warm, and consistent parenting, children model their parents and apply those values in daily life, creating a strong foundation that carries them into adulthood and beyond. Research in adolescent personality development confirms that children and adolescents are most likely to emulate the behaviors of models that produce positive outcomes, meaning what you model consistently in your home is what your child is most likely to carry forward. Research also shows that feeling loved in childhood influences the degree to which a person will be agreeable, warm, and relationally healthy in adulthood, and that this was modeled and rewarded by parents during the child's upbringing. So you may not be in the room, but what you modeled and what you planted is in the room. The training travels with them. It is their posture. It is their questions. It is the way they carry themselves when nobody who knows them is watching. The harvest tells the truth about the seed. Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from what you've taught them. And we know the Hebrew word for train is CHANAK, to dedicate, to inaugurate, to narrow the path toward purpose. It carries the image of a midwife placing a drop of crushed dates on the palate of a newborn to stimulate the desire to nurse. Training is not forcing. It is creating a taste for the right thing, a hunger for what is good, true, and holy. You created that hunger. You narrowed that path. You did the work of CHANAK. And the Hebrew word for depart is shur, to turn aside, to leave the path. The promise is that the path you narrowed will hold them, even when they wander. And they will wander. The training will call them back. It is already in them because you put it there. Galatians 6:9 seals this thought. Let us not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season we will reap if we faint not. The Kairos moment is here. The appointed season of harvest, The moment when the training breaks through the surface and shows itself to the world, you didn't give up, and the harvest is telling the truth. Frederick Douglass, a man who understood that what is built in a person in their formative years shapes everything that follows. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." You built strong, you invested early, you stayed in the field, even when the seasons were hard. And Hannah More, a woman who spent her entire life planting seeds of faith and wisdom into the next generation, said, "Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal." The goal was never a perfect child. The goal was always a child equipped to walk their own path with faith, wisdom, and purpose. Keep your eyes on that goal. The training produced exactly what it was supposed to produce. I want to hear from you today. What is one thing you're grateful you did not give up on? One seed you almost stopped planting that is now bearing fruit in your child's life? Drop it in the comments. Let your testimony be somebody else's hope today. If today is confirming something you have been trusting God for, share this with a parent who needs to know their training was not wasted. Tag them, send it to them, and subscribe, because the next days is splashdown and you do not want to miss it. Here are your action steps for today. Number 1, write down 3 specific things you trained into your child. 3 values, scriptures, boundaries, or life lessons you deposited intentionally. Name them specifically. Number 2, write Proverbs 22:6 over each one. Train up a child in the way that they should go. When he is old, he will not depart. Let that be your declaration of trust over the training. Number 3, look for one evidence of the training showing up in your child's life right now. It may be subtle, a decision they made, a question they asked, the way they carried themselves. Name it, write it down. Celebrate it as a harvest. And lastly, number 4, release the outcome. One more time today. Pray, Lord, I trusted you with the seed. I trust you with the harvest. The training is in your hand, and so are they. Be well and be loved. God bless you.